brothers, in pursuit of wisdom. Each of us encounters times when life seems to spiral beyond our grasp, be it the loss of honorable employment, the fracture of a sacred bond, or the relentless chaos of daily duties that erode our resolve. These trials can render a man powerless and adrift. Yet, imagine if I revealed to you a path not merely to endure, but to forge unbreakable strength amid the storm. Today, let us delve into the eternal wisdom of Seneca, that ancient sage who commanded serenity in a realm of ceaseless upheaval. His teachings on Stoicism transcend mere words. They are the forge of the soul. That is, practical strategies that have fortified leaders, thinkers, and countless steadfast individuals across the ages, and they can arm us with unyielding power in our modern era. By the close of this discourse, you shall possess an arsenal of Stoic tenets to temper your mental fortitude and reclaim dominion over your passions and responses. No matter what tempests fate unleashes, walk with me as we unearth how to wield these timeless secrets in contemporary battles, cultivating a spirit of unassailable calm and resilience. If this wisdom resonates with your quest for virtue and you wish to bolster this sanctuary of knowledge, a simple gesture of allegiance, I humbly request that you affirm your commitment by subscribing to this channel. Such an act sustains our mission to deliver profound insights like these. Moreover, I counsel you to absorb every fragment of this video without haste, for if you stand here among us, you are no ordinary soul. You are a guardian of depth, one who reveres the sacred pursuit of truth. Deem yourself among the elite few forged in philosophy's fire. Seneca's axiom, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere," seizes a vital truth often eclipsed in our frenzied age. Dedicating oneself wholly to a single endeavor lies at the heart of Stoic mastery, transforming our engagement with the labors of each day. In a world that praises multitasking, we need to pause and rethink the effectiveness of this method. When trying to do many things at once, we are only scattering attention, leading to more errors and reduced work quality. Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic philosopher, once emphasized, "Focus every minute, like a Roman, like a man doing the task before you, with precise seriousness and sincerity. Care, willingness, fairness, and freeing yourself from all other distractions." This unwavering focus not only elevates your prowess in toil, but cultivates a noble mind that cherishes profound depths over fleeting surfaces, echoing the traditions of our philosophical forebears. By immersing fully in one pursuit, whether a duty of honor, a personal quest for excellence, or a dialogue steeped in meaning, you unlock realms of fulfillment and triumph that shallow endeavors cannot touch. Plato himself would affirm that such singular devotion draws us nearer to divine beauty and eternal truth in our labors, for it demands the full outpouring of our virtuous essence and creates something that reflects values of goodness and excellence. Moreover, the psychological benefits of focusing on one task are huge. It reduces brain load, limits stress, and enhances decision-making ability. Aristotle, who advocated developing virtue through regular right actions, would surely support this method as a way to practice virtue of moderation or self-control, helping us restrain the desire for distraction and immediate gratification. In embracing this disciplined path of concentration, we tread the ancient trails blazed by Stoic titans, harmonizing with the insights of contemporary sages who declare the mind unfit for juggling intricate burdens simultaneously. Thus, The caliber of our endeavors and existence ascends when we channel our undivided vigilance into the singular, Socrates' relentless quest through profound questioning and discourse fixating with iron intensity on one matter. Banishing all else exemplifies the might of this Stoic forge. To embody this principle is to claim victory over fragmentation. Not only helps us work more efficiently, but also become more thoughtful, peaceful and balanced people. This is a rejection of the chaos of modern multitasking and a choice for a more intentional and profound way of living. As we practice, we will notice not only improved results, but also enhanced mental health. Seneca once said, "All greatest suffering stems from an undisciplined mind," expressing a profound truth about human nature. Uncontrolled impulses can be the source of great emotional disorders and suffering. Stoicism, with its solemn emphasis on self-sovereignty and the rule of reason, bestows upon us a timeless structure to conquer this inner strife. Rather than futilely stifling our passions, a path fraught with peril and impermanence, Stoicism guides us to comprehend and command them with wisdom's grace. The journey to mastering these urges commences in the quiet realm of self-knowledge. Epictetus, that revered Stoic beacon, proclaimed, "True liberty eludes those who cannot govern their own realm." This maxim illuminates the imperative of inner dominion for attaining authentic freedom and profound joy. As we awaken to our impulses and the shadows that summon them, we will have the ability to handle them more rationally. This does not mean denying emotions, but understanding them deeply enough to respond in line with long-term goals and values. In philosophy, Aristotle also spoke about the importance of regulating impulses through virtue development. He believed that virtue lies in the balance between excess and deficiency, a concept called the golden mean. For example, courage is the balance between recklessness and cowardice. Applying this to impulse control, we seek balance between impulsive reactions and complete inaction, aiming for thoughtful, intentional responses that reflect our best selves. Moreover, practicing philosophy as a guide to impulse control is nurturing the habit of rational thinking. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often emphasized the importance of aligning thoughts with principles of reason and virtue. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This perspective encourages us to focus on internal responses rather than external provocations, thereby better controlling our impulses. When examining impulses closely under the light of philosophical wisdom, we begin to make choices not dominated by fleeting emotions, but as outcomes of profound reflection. This practice not only strengthens mental fortitude, but also helps us live more harmoniously with our own values, leading to decisions made not hastily in the moment, but with a clear and calm mind. The Stoic approach to impulse control is building an ongoing internal dialogue that questions and evaluates our instinctive responses. This is not just learning philosophy, but living it, allowing us to rise above transient pleasures and achieve deep satisfaction along with a clear purpose in life. This disciplined way not only helps avoid emotional suffering, but also opens the path to a fuller and more thoughtful life. Seneca once said, "Preparation is everything." He said, "Rehearse in your mind things like exile, torture, war, shipwreck. All the hardships of human life should always be before our eyes." This advice may sound overly dramatic at first, as not everyone is facing seas or battlefields. But what Seneca emphasizes is the concept of mental preparation for life's inevitable challenges, that is the foundation of Stoic resilience. Stoicism teaches us to anticipate and mentally rehearse for the worst, not to create fear, but to lessen the shock and pain when difficulties truly arise. This practice is called premeditatio malorum, meaning premeditation of evils. Imagining the most difficult scenarios is not for excessive worry, but to equip the mind and emotions to be ready when life throws unexpected challenges. Think of it this way. Athletes train in harsh conditions to prepare for the pressure of real competitions. Similarly, by mentally practicing facing challenges, we train our minds to handle stress and adversity with less panic and more calm. This Stoic practice helps us appreciate the current state more, because when realizing things could be much worse, daily difficulties become much lighter. Applying Stoicism does not mean living in constant anxiety about what could go wrong, but having a realistic awareness of potential negative outcomes. For example, if you worry about job stability, instead of falling into fear, you can start preparing by updating your resume, improving skills, or even exploring other career paths. In this way, if the worst happens, you won't be caught off guard and will be in a better position to handle the situation. Moreover, this principle applies not only to personal crises, but also to maintaining readiness for major life changes. From financial difficulties to personal losses, when well prepared, we not only avoid the initial shock, but also shorten recovery and adaptation time, a subtle but powerful shift in facing life's uncertainties. Seneca's advice helps us build a mindset not overwhelmed by adversity, but more resilient against it. Mental preparedness is not waiting for the worst to happen, but preparing to cope with any situation, thereby enhancing endurance and mental toughness. Through the Stoic lens, we not only see the risk of loss or difficulty, but also recognize opportunities for growth and renewal in each challenge. Another profound insight from Seneca is difficulties strengthen the mind as labor strengthens the body. This idea is core to Stoicism and reminds us of a seemingly paradoxical practice, voluntarily embracing hardship. It is the intentional choice to experience discomfort, not as punishment, but as a way to enhance mental endurance and expand the capacity to cope with life's inevitable challenges. Think about voluntarily embracing hardship, like athletes training in harsh conditions to prepare for competition. Athletes understand that by pushing limits in a controlled environment, they will be more ready for real pressure. Over time, what once seemed insurmountable becomes manageable and eventually comfortable. Practicing Stoicism is not seeking suffering for its own sake, but recognizing that growth often comes from difficulties. Accepting voluntary challenges also means redefining one's comfort zone in a world that prioritizes convenience and ease. Choosing the harder path may be a bold decision, but Stoicism invites us to rethink the true meaning of comfort. Is it merely the absence of suffering or the presence of inner strength and peace? That comes from knowing that we can face any difficulty that arises. When applying Stoic principles to life, we also learn to appreciate the present circumstances more. When knowing we can endure, we enjoy simple joys with deeper contentment. It is building a life not based on avoiding difficulties, but on the foundation of resilience. It is not that we seek suffering, but when difficulties come, we see them as opportunities to practice Stoic skills. We also nurture a deep belief in our own capabilities. We prove to ourselves that we can overcome challenges, thereby building confidence. Each challenge overcome is a reminder that we are stronger than we thought. Let us draw inspiration from Seneca and dare to step into the arena of voluntary difficulties. It is there that we not only find challenges, but also discover the key to a more resilient and fulfilling life. Seneca wisely emphasized that we often suffer more in imagination. This saying is a profound reminder that it is our interpretation of events, not the events themselves, that is the source of our greatest pain. It is easy to fall into the trap of thinking we are victims of circumstances, leading to a mindset that everything happens to us instead of for us or with us. Stoicism teaches us the importance of perception. How we choose to see and understand life's challenges profoundly affects our experience. If we see ourselves as passive victims, we have already surrendered control and power. But if we view difficulties as opportunities for growth and learning, we retain control over our responses and tend to be more proactive in life. Try imagining a common situation: you are not promoted at work, and the first reaction is feeling overlooked or discriminated against. Though those emotions are real, Stoicism invites us to examine our response objectively. Are we only seeing the event through the lens of loss and injustice? If instead, we see it as an opportunity to seek feedback, improve skills, or even reassess our career path, to find a direction more aligned with our aspirations. Avoiding victim mentality does not mean ignoring injustices or difficulties we face, but shifting focus from what happens to us to how we respond to those things. This shift is truly powerful. It takes us from passive to active in life. We stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What can I learn from this? How will I grow from this circumstance?" Stoicism equips us with tools to detach from initial emotions and view the bigger picture. This helps us understand that while we cannot control all external events, we can fully control our perceptions and reactions. This mindset shift brings freedom and strength, allowing us to live with purpose and resilience, better prepared for future challenges. Moreover, practicing Stoic principles also enriches relationships with others when we refuse to play the perpetual victim. Building relationships based on respect and understanding, instead of blame or resentment. We become more empathetic when realizing that just as we are responsible for our own happiness, others are responsible for theirs. When embracing the Stoic way of life, we free ourselves from the chains of victim mentality, taking ownership of our own story and acknowledging that we are the creators of our reality. This mastery is the spirit of Stoicism and the key to a fulfilling, proactive life. Choose to rise above the victim role, not by denying pain, but by reframing your story with strength, wisdom, and resilience. Seneca's advice, "Withdraw into yourself as much as possible," emphasizes the value of solitude in Stoic philosophy. This is not a call to isolate oneself, but an invitation to engage in deep self-reflection. In the modern world, full of noise and constant connection, the clamor of life often drowns out the inner voice, hindering the ability to recognize personal growth and value. Stoicism teaches that true solitude is a state of profound self-awareness, not merely physical aloneness. The benefits of spending time in solitude are immensely valuable and have been emphasized by philosophers throughout history. Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic philosopher, often wrote about the importance of self-contemplation in his personal writings. He believed that self-understanding is essential for living a virtuous and purposeful life. He said, "Nowhere does one find a more tranquil and untroubled retreat than in one's own soul." This highlights that solitude is a peaceful sanctuary, where we can escape the demands of the external world and focus on inner development. Moreover, practicing solitude allows us to explore thoughts and emotions without distraction. It creates space for us to process experiences and align actions with our principles. By regularly practicing, we nurture a deeper understanding of ourselves and what we truly desire in life. This alignment is crucial for living authentically and achieving personal fulfillment. Aristotle also mentioned the importance of self-reflection to achieve eudaimonia, or complete flourishing. He believed that self-knowledge is essential for developing virtue and living in accordance with reason. In solitude, we can seriously evaluate our lives and adjust them to truly reflect our values and aspirations. Practicing solitude in Stoic philosophy also helps us forge resilience. The Epicureans emphasized the necessity of self-reflection to fortify the mind against adversity, advising each person to use solitude as a tool to strengthen character and mental endurance, preparing for life's inevitable challenges. He clearly stated, "You have the right to withdraw whenever you want. Perfect peace lies in the good ordering of the mind, in your own world." Additionally, spending time alone helps us appreciate relationships and social interactions more. When returning after periods of solitude, we often find ourselves with more to offer others, whether it's empathy, patience, or clarity. This not only enriches personal relationships, but also enhances our contribution to the community. Practicing Stoic solitude is not escaping life, but deepening our engagement with it. When withdrawing inward, we find the clarity to act more mindfully in the world. Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus all guide us to use solitude not as a retreat, but as a tool for living more fully and meaningfully. Concluding today's discussion, it is clear that Stoic teachings are not just abstract theories recorded in ancient texts, but practical strategies that can be applied daily, helping us live mindfully, resiliently, and purposefully. Stoicism teaches us the value of focus, the power of self-control, the importance of preparation, the strength in embracing difficulties, the freedom from self-pity, and the clarity that solitude brings. Each principle challenges us to turn inward to forge character, facing life with honesty and courage. Remember that Stoicism does not promise an easy life, but provides us with tools to face challenges more effectively. It encourages us to view every obstacle as an opportunity to practice virtue and every difficulty as a chance to test resilience. When applying Stoic practices, we not only survive, but thrive, cultivating a life of peace and fulfillment from within. With the Stoic spirit, let us continue to explore how to apply ancient wisdom to overcome the complexities of modern life. Strive to become better than yesterday's self, living intentionally and virtuously. If you wish to continue this journey, view one of the videos on the screen. They are designed to help you delve deeper into the practical application of Stoicism in daily life. Thank you for spending time with us at Stoic Journal. We appreciate your curiosity and thirst for growth. Remember, the path to wisdom is long and challenging, but each step brings you closer to a meaningful life. So, proceed boldly without ceasing.